Hello, everybody. I hope everyone's having a lovely Wednesday. I have not left the house because it is too hot for me. But I have been getting ready today, and I have known that Taylor Swift has been in this lawsuit since, 2017. They filed this lawsuit against Taylor Swift. Yeah, you got your notification. I love that. That makes me happy. One of my friends that lives in my area, she's always like, "I never get your notifications." I'm like, "I don't understand." But I do know YouTube sucks at everything they do. So, it happens. Hello, Mike. How are you? I'm so glad you got your channel back. Now, if only YouTube can remonetize Farron, we'd be all good. They didn't approve her monetization, I should say. So they demonetized her about a month ago. They said that she could reapply. She reapplied, and they denied her. It's full. YouTube has problems, and they're on my shit list. I wrote a very not too very nice tweet regarding the Farron situation, and I was just like, we need answers now. Like, what the hell are you doing? Like, the reasons that they gave her were wrong. They said that she was reusing content when she wasn't, and she changed her channel up a little bit for them to be able to get remonetized, and they won't give her a reason why they won't. And it's like, but how can somebody fix the problem unless you tell them? It's like YouTube is playing this child game like people do, where it's like, I'm mad at you. Well, why? If you can't tell me why, I can't fix the reason. Well, I'm just mad. It's like, all right, YouTube. Yeah. Yep. But yeah. So Taylor Swift got a lawsuit filed against her in 2017, and it was for her song Shake It Off, because the lyrics matched kind of lyrics. I will go through this all tonight, where she sings the players gonna play, 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 haters gonna hate, 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 hate. I'm not singing it for you guys. I'm not Farron. Matched 3LW, their song Playas are gonna play and haters are gonna hate, that song. So the Songwriters filed a lawsuit because, Taylor Swift at that time in 2014, when the song was released, was making big bucks off of this song. She was on the top Billboard 100 chart for 24 days straight. She sold millions. She has right now, it's like 3.2 billion billion views on YouTube just for the music video. So it's a very popular song. It was all over the airwaves. I'm not a Taylor Swift fan, and I know this song because it's everywhere. It gets stuck in your head. Like, literally, just by reading this article today, it was stuck in my head all day. Then, I did clip the music videos. We will show the portions of it, and if YouTube claims me, I'll remove the 4 and 6 seconds out of the video. But I do want to show you them live, so you guys get a little treat. And then, if it happens, it happens. That's what I was thinking. I feel like it was jealousy of fame. Exactly. So we have the lawsuit. We have the complaint from the people that filed the lawsuit. We have a ruling back in 2008 where they ruled for Taylor, and then another ruling because they went and kept filing, which they were allowed to do. You will see that in the ruling. And there was another ruling in the case in 2021, which they did not come to an agreement. So now there is another complaint that Taylor filed yesterday actually 2 days ago. I'm a day behind in my head, on 8/8, and it's her side of the statement, and we're going to look at all of that tonight. Oh my God, she had that song on repeat. That's like my neighbor, but they had the Whitney Houston song, I Will Always Love You song playing. And I didn't know them at the time, so I didn't yell at them. But it was like, no joke, till 2 o'clock in the morning from like 8 o'clock at night, them playing that song in all different versions, who sang it this way, that way. And they played it and they played it. And I think I even went live that night and I was like, can you guys hear it? This has been happening. That was like a year ago. Hey, Miranda. Oh, don't worry. I know. I'm so excited that I know you're not excited. You're nervous. I'm excited for you that you're going on Friday. But just know you are in our prayers, in our thoughts, and we're sending you good vibes, and you will do amazing. I promise you will do amazing. Hello, Rose. How are you? Okay, so let's first take a peek at what Billboard put up today on the whole shenanigans of this case. And it will explain all the details, and then we'll look at all of the different filings that I have for the case. Oh, I can imagine. And it was like, it was probably when it was like the summer, right? When you had the windows open. That's when my neighbor did it. I was like, well, maybe she's going through a breakup. Like, who could play Whitney Houston that many times? But your neighbor playing Taylor Swift, Shake It Off, what was she doing? Shaking it the entire time? I mean, hopefully she was like rehearsing a dance or something. I don't know. That seems a little crazy. I don't know if I can. Well, I listened to it on repeat a couple times today, but that was because I was cropping the music video. I don't really like Taylor Swift either, so I was more intrigued by the lawsuit, to be honest. I'm not a big Taylor fan. I listen to a couple of her songs. I know her songs because, the radio always plays it, so you're going to hear it. I'm not a big fan, though, of her. And honestly, I was more of a fan, if anything, back with her newer stuff when she was more of that, like, country, though I'm not into country either, than she is, like, her pop music stuff. She has a beautiful voice. I'll give her that. She does have an amazing voice. That she has. And I'll always remember the time that, Kanye ran up on stage and snatched her award, and it was a whole big deal. I think that was the MTV Movie Awards. That was so many years ago. That was for her first, like, single. Yeah, right? Miranda says that she hasn't really liked her since she moved over to the pop music. She has a better country voice, in my opinion. She was older than me, so I figured she was trying to shake it off. Maybe she had someone she was hating on and she needed to shake it off, or something else was wrong. We can only speculate at this point. But tell me, did she turn the song off when you yelled at her? That's the key. I hope she did. Oh, I hate when they do this. Okay. So, Billboard says this week's claim from Taylor Swift that Shake It Off was written entirely by me is just the latest twist in a copyright lawsuit that's been underway for 5 years now. 5 years is a long time, but this happens with lawsuits. Pitting the superstar against two little-known songwriters in a fight over the lyrics to one of her biggest hits. Now, filed back in 2017, the case claims that Taylor lifted her lyrics to Shake It Off about players gonna play and haters gonna hate from a 2001 song called Playas Gonna Play by the group 3LW, which featured some similar wording about players and haters. Now, they are very similar, but with the lawsuit and especially with copyright claims, which we'll look in with the filings, the way that things are spelt is part of copyrights, especially with lyrics to a song. Notice how they spell playas gonna play. Because in her song, though she says playas gonna play, she doesn't spell it that way. And that's a big thing with this lawsuit. So it continues with, if you've lost track of this case, don't feel bad. Across half a decade of litigation, the Shake It Off lawsuit has already seen dozens of motions, several key rulings, and a high-profile reverse by an appeals court, all without ever reaching a jury trial or a final decision on the accusations. To catch you up to speed, here's everything you need to know about Taylor's long legal battle over Shake It Off. Let me check on what you guys are saying real quick. I should have had you guys in another window. You think you scared her? You never heard it again? See, you remember that? Yeah, I know. I saw the Burger King deal. I was like, ooh, $5 or $6? That's a good deal. And you got like the chicken fries, French fries, and a burger. Let's see. Is it still up there? Yeah, you get either the Whopper bacon, double Whopper bacon, or the one with the onion rings with fries and chicken fries. I think that's what I'm going to get tonight. I'm going to convince the boyfriend, though. He doesn't really like Burger King. He's like a McDonald's fan. I was like, do you want Taco Bell the other night? He was like, no, I don't like anything but McDonald's. It's like, oh, I hate McDonald's. And I'm not cooking tonight. It's too hot for that. I did that last night and I regretted it. So, what's Taylor accused of doing wrong? In 2017, songwriters Sean Hall and Nathan Butler filed a copyright infringement lawsuit against Swift and Big Machine Records, Sony Music, and Sony Music Publishing, and others involved in Shake It Off, which debuted at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 in September 2004 and ultimately spent 50 weeks on the chart. In their complaint, Hall and Butler accused Swift of stealing the central lyrics from their Playas Gonna Play, a song released by R&B group 3LW in 2001 that's eventually reached number 81 on the Hot 100. Number 1, 81. That's a big difference. The song also appeared on MTV's then Total Request Live, TRL. Oh my God, who remembers TRL? I do. I love TRL. Now it's like I don't even know what MTV has on their network. No one ever says Total Request Live. That's a tongue twister. TRL. I love TRL. Hello, Tiddles. How are you? I mean, if I have to have McDonald's, I'm going to have McDonald's, but I do like stuff from Burger King, like the rodeo burger. That's like my fave. And I do love McDonald's Shamrock Shakes, but that's only for, St. Patrick's Day. So, In Hall and Butler's song, the line was, players, they gonna play, and haters, they gonna hate. In Swift's track, she sings, cause the player's gonna play, 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 and the haters gonna hate, 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 hate. In their complaint, the duo said Swift's lyrics was clearly copied from their song. Now, it says defendants knew or should have known that Playas Gonna Play could not be used in a musical work by defendants without a license and or songwriting credit, as it's customary standard practice in the music industry. This is where they have Butler's first complaint, where they filed it all. But before this, see, they just put a little paragraph from the complaint. They said that she should have Googled the lyrics that she was writing down when she was writing the song to see if someone had already said this in a song, which we're going to look at one of the rulings. And the ruling has all of these different times that play is going to play, haters, play haters, all different types of ways you can say playa or hater has been used in songs, musicals, movies, everything. But yet they claim that they came up with this phrase, playa's gonna play. I've heard that my whole life, and I heard that before 3LW's song ever came out. It's been a thing since the 70s, though they are saying, we came up with that. We came up with that line. So let's take a look at the first complaint. So I don't know if I can switch screens. You know what? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to share this entire browser so it's easier because I have all the complaints already up and rulings, all of that in different tabs. So let me just share that entire window. So you're going to see StreamYard for a second. Don't worry. Actually, before I do that, let me put StreamYard in its own window. So that way I can see the chat and I can see you guys. It would make it lots easier. All right, let's share. Window, yes, this one. Okay. And let me get this. There we go. Now, if I make this smaller, how is that going to look on your screen? Okay, that's not bad. Not bad. Now I can see you, and I can see everything on the screen to read. No, I don't want to make it bigger. I hate when I move things. Okay, so this is their complaint from Butler and Hall. This was filed. Their complaint was filed back in September 18th, 2017. I've already highlighted it, all the important parts, so we don't have to waste any time. We can read just the important areas. Hello, Spooky History with Megs. How are you, darling? So pretty much in the beginning, they go over who they are, the song, Taylor Swift, where she lives, where the other defendants live, like her song producer, Sony, Colbat Music, Big Machine Lab, all of that, Universal Music Group. Then it gets into the good stuff. So the red is the important parts. The yellow is, just information that is helpful. So it says Plaintiff Hall is a songwriter and music producer. Since roughly 1993, Hall has written and produced hundreds of songs for various artists such as Justin Bieber, Color Me Bad, Escape, 98 Degrees, Lionel Richie, Pink, and Maroon 5. I mean, Justin Bieber is like the only really big name one up there besides maybe Lionel Richie. But he's only been around since 1993, so it's anything after 1993 for Lionel Richie. I mean, I'll give Pink and Maroon 5 some credit too. Plaintiff Butler is a songwriter, music producer, vocal producer, and a recording artist. He has worked with multiple platinum artists such as Luther Vandross, Victoria Beckham, aka Posh Spice, Backstreet Boys, Christina Milian, Stacey Orrock, JoJo, Aaron Carter, and several others. To date, Butler has accounted for over 45 million records sold worldwide. So Butler seems to be the bigger guy in this case. And I will say he has a couple good artist up there, Aaron Carter, man. He's not doing too well. Now, it says, in 2001, Plaintiff Hall and Butler co-authored the song entitled Playas Gonna Play. Playas Gonna Play was recorded by the girl group 3LW and released to the public of May of 2001. And this is everything we already know, where it says like the Billboard Hot 100 chart, they were number 81, and then they reached 56 on the Hot R&B Billboard chart, and number 17 on the Rhythmic chart, which I didn't even know they had a Rhythmic chart. Very interesting. And Meg, if she doesn't get to you, I will keep in contact with you too. So that way we can all keep in contact with each other, because I'm going to be on her butt on Friday, whether I'm going to give her a little bit of rest, but I'm going to make sure she's doing good too. So then it says, Playas Gonna Play helped springboard the career of 3LW, which it did. It was one of the top girl groups of that era. They were like the only girl group of that era at that time. The song Playas Gonna Play served as the second single on 3LW's self-titled debut album, 3LW. The album reached number 29 on the Billboard's 200 album chart, number 19 on the Billboard's top R&B / hip-hop chart, and platinum by the RIAA with over 1 million units sold. Only 1 million units sold? And that was back when like CDs were a thing. Computers were coming around, and you had Napster and things like LimeWire, but mainly if you wanted a song, you had to buy the CD. I would think it would be way more units, but in addition, on March 7th, 2021, Playas Gonna Play debuted at number 7 on TRL's MTV's Video Countdown show, which played the 10 most requested videos of the day. Oh my God, one day on TRL? Only one day? That's crazy. You would see songs over and over and over again on TRL. Like one time, that's crazy. In the early 2000s, inclusively on the TRL Top 10 Countdown, was the benchmark for a top 40s song popularity. Now, I did note, this is my handwriting on here, YouTube music video as of today has only 15 million views, which isn't bad. 15 million isn't bad. Now, Playas Gonna Play included the lyrical phrase, players are gonna play and haters are gonna hate. The combination of playas - players playing along with haters - haters hating may seem like common parlance today. However, in 2001, it was completely original and unique. Indeed, the combination had not been used in popular culture prior to the plaintiff's original use. Now, this is what Butler and Hall have their attorneys writing in this complaint, saying that it was original use and it was not used prior in pop culture until then. I want to note that for a reason. Hello there. How are you, darling? Oh, Kitty. Say it for everybody to hear. I'm not giving her attention. While previous artists had used terms such as playa haters or playa hater hates, I know those do not make plaintiff phrases any less original. The term playa haters was often used as a noun to describe a type of person, also commonly used Playa haters describe just one person, a person who hates playas. Like, let's get into the details on what a playa hater is. Though plaintiffs' own originality was created, the original and unique lyrical phrase, players gonna play and haters they're gonna hate, which is featured prominently in the chorus of plaintiff work. Yeah, it's all over that damn song. As created by plaintiffs, the lyrical phrase described two separate people. One, playa, who engaged in playing, and one, haters, who engaged in hating. So it wasn't a playa hater, it was a playa and a hater. It wasn't both. It wasn't a playa hater. Someone that hates players, it was a playa and then a hater. It's like, oh my God. I've seen some crazy lawsuits, and I understand like copyright issues, but like having to read something like this, it just makes me laugh. Like they're really describing what a playa hater is. I know, Kitty. I'll give you a treat. In 2014, defendants Swift, Stanberg, and Schwaster co-authored the musical composition entitled Shake It Off. The composition was recorded and performed by defendant Swift and was released to the general public in August 2014. Man, do I feel old. 2014. There you go. Maybe she'll leave me alone. I gave her some Meowawana, which are just cat treats that have like a catnip flavor with seafood in it. Hello, Kitty. I know you. Anyone want some badass kids? I'll take them for the day. You can have them back at night, though. I'll give you, all right, how about I take them for a day and a half? So that way you can have like a little vacation. All right, so Shake It Off copies and includes plaintiff's lyrics, playa, they're gonna play, and haters, they're gonna hate, by featuring the lyrical phrase, cause the player's gonna play, and the hater's gonna hate. Predominantly throughout the chorus of Shake It Off, in all the infringed copyrighted material accounts for roughly 20% of Shake It Off. That's not a lot, in my opinion. And it's like, okay, so it's because it's in the chorus, yes, it's going to be in the song a bunch of times. Just like Players Are Gonna Play, Shake It Off continues into a 4-part lyrical sequence with actors engaging in a type of activity. In defendant's version, the players and haters are followed by heartbreakers gonna break, and the fakers are gonna fake. And the sequence is substantially similar to the sequence in Players Are Gonna Play, created by plaintiff. Come get them. All right, it's going to take me at least 11 hours, roughly. They got full bellies and random boosts of energy. Yeah, the food will give them a boost. Doesn't sound like a lot. Yeah, right? 20%, that's not a lot. Now, this just goes into some more stuff. How the whole TRL saying that Taylor Swift admitted that she watched MTV's TRL, which promoted Players Are Gonna Play. Hello. It was for one day they were on, and they were number 7 on TRL. It did not mean she watched on that day. She admitted that, yes, I've watched MTV's TRL, but doesn't say that, yeah, I know that song because of TRL. It was on for one day on TRL. They admitted it above. And then this part just says that without any licensing, that, right here is the same part that they put up there. But this is the part that I don't know why I didn't highlight this, where it says that the defendants should have Googled the intended lyrics of Shake It Off to see if there was copyrighted work. Like, what? I don't write like poetry and think, let me, Google to make sure I'm not putting like a phrase that's in somebody else's poetry that's copywritten. Like, I don't know. Just, it seems so weird. Now, this is an example of a copyright issue with a song. And I highlighted this for a reason, because it is so different. They put in this is an example of what she did with our lyrics, and it's completely, though it's similar, it's different. So Beyonce had a song called Hold Up, and it featured lyrics from 2 previous copyrighted works, the Yeah 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 Maps and Soldier Boy's Turn My Swag On. Now, the chorus in Maps included the lyrics, wait, they don't love you like they don't love you like a love you. I think it's supposed to be I love you. And Hold Up riffs off of these lyrics with the chorus, hold up, they don't love you like I love you. So it's exactly word for word, except for the hold up part, they don't love you like I love you. And then they continue with slow down, they don't love you like I love you. Back up, they don't love you like I love you. Step down, they don't love you like I love you. So it's repeated multiple times. Though it's like, for a song, like how many times you can say to anybody, they don't love you like I love you? It's a common phrase. So to say that you invented that phrase, or you're copywriting, I can see copywriting the whole song, but taking a portion, like a sentence saying they don't love you like I love you, and saying, well, you infringed on the copyright, you would have, for me, I would think you would have to infringe on the complete song. You would have to redo the whole song, and that be an infringement, and claim it as your own, and all of that kind of a thing. For instance, with YouTube, the copyright with YouTube is we can play videos, but we have to transform it to make it our own, which means if I'm playing it, I stop in between, give commentary, that's transforming it. Or if you play the video and you put your own words at the top, or you put weird emojis around it, you're transforming it. Though it's somebody else's, you're transforming it to make it your own, and they cannot copyright claim you or strike you. That's why I'm thinking it's why can't song lyrics be the same? Saying they don't love you like I love you is a very common phrase. So if her song matched completely the same exact thing as another song, and then she claimed it as her own, and then like Gabby Hanna did. Gabby Hanna tried doing this with Alanis Morissette song. She did an Alanis Morissette cover, though she didn't call it a cover. She called it her own. And then when fans called her out on this, saying that's an Alanis Morissette song, Gabby was like, oh yeah, that's a cover. I meant a cover, which she quickly changed to write my Alanis Morissette cover along with the title. But she tried to play it off as her own before people called her out. That would be, to me, like a copyright. So Miranda says, exactly, though with K-pop companies, they don't care because I've disputed claims before and they'll deny it. I do know with YouTube, music is completely different. And I know it's because of the beat, the lyrics, all of that. Like music copyright, I don't understand. But like lyric copyright, if it has the same beat and the same lyrics, that is pertain to a copyright. It's music is so different. So I'm glad like I'm going over this because I'm learning something new, especially with the whole copyright process. And it's just like, and Taylor does go into hers in one of the rulings. They talk about how Taylor brought up how it doesn't have the same rhythm, doesn't have the same this kind of like flow. And they talk about that as part of the copyright. So I do know like that's an issue. And that's why I said I do have 6 and 4 seconds of each song. And if they claim me, then I'll, cut it out or I'll mute the song. Whatever YouTube makes me do. But you guys can hear it live. And that's why I have it. So you guys can hear it. Now, the other song that was the same song, Hold Up, that she took from was from Soulja Boy's Turn My Swag On. The lyrics included, hopped up out the bed, turned my swag on, took a look in the mirror, said, what's up, while Hold Up, Beyonce's song, had lyrics saying, I hopped up out of the bed and got my swag on. I looked in the mirror, say, what's up? That is very similar. That is very like, all right, this is 1, 2 lines from the song. Very similar. She added the I hop up out of the bed instead of hopped. I hop up out of the bed and get my swag on, where turn my swag on. So a couple words different. And then take a look in the mirror. So she added I look in the mirror, which that right there to me is more of a copyright infringement like case than the player's gonna play case. Like that's like almost word for word, adding a couple here and there, but that's how people get away with it. It's transformative. They don't say what happened in this case, though. They don't say if Hold Up lost the copyright claim. They just make it as this is an example in the complaint. They didn't say what happened to it. They're just like, oh, well, this is a song and this happened. But they don't say Beyonce lost and she had to give millions of dollars to this song and that song. See? Yep, agreed that it's more similar to each other. Yes. I hopped out of the bed and went straight to my computer and said, what's up? That's what I do. Hey, computer, what's up today? So then they go into pretty much after the example, they go into, Taylor Swift's song, how it debuted on the Billboard 100 chart, and that it was a hit, and it was on for 24 weeks, which it was actually 50 weeks. 50 weeks, 24 of them on the top 10. And that it was certified 9 times platinum, not 1, 9 times platinum by the RIAA with over 9 million copies sold. When, we could burn our own CDs and downloaded music the way we wanted, she had 9 million copies sold of that album. That's incredible. Now, the music video, which featured in August 18th, 2014, had at this time 2,380,831,410 views, which I looked it up and they're at 3.1 trillion. Or 30, I wrote this wrong. 31 billion. I don't know why I put the point. I could fix it. It's 31 billion. Sorry. Keep reading it wrong. It's high up there. compared to 15 million, 31 billion, when she was only at 2 billion back in August 18, 2014. Now, defendants' infringed act included, but not limited to, unlawful creating, recording, manufacturing, producing, selling, licensing, marketing, and or distributing the musical composition and sound recording of Shake It Off, meaning that she, gave it out to different television advertisers, which it says down here again, films, advertisement, television, video games, all third-party difference to make more money. Plus all, manufacturing, selling of the CDs and producing it, all of that great stuff. And then it says that on information and belief, defendants have exploited and continued to exploit Shake It Off in the District of the State of California and throughout the United States and the world by reproducing, preparing deceitful works, distributing, licensing, publicly performing, oh no, she had concerts, and otherwise exploiting Shake It Off. What? The word usage in this complaint, I highlighted that just for the word usage. It's crazy. All right, and then we get into their first claim for release. So it goes over everything again, pretty much what they did with the song. Now, this is what they want from Taylor. Plaintiffs are entitled to maximum statutory damages, okay, or to recover their actual damages and profits of the infringement, and plaintiff elects in such other reliefs as it provides by law. Plaintiffs are further entitled to their attorney fees and full costs, so they want their attorney's fees covered. But the best part of this, it's the same thing in here, was, where is it? They want and ordering defendant to destroy all copies of the infringed work and or other material made in violation of plaintiff's exclusive rights. So pretty much they want to destroy Shake It Off. They want it to not exist anymore anywhere. They don't want it on the internet. They don't want the song on the radio. They want to kibosh it. Make it like it never existed ever. Why wouldn't you just say, okay, well, going forward then, anytime, the song, any more CDs are sold, or anyone buys the song on iTunes or Spotify, that we get a percentage of it? Why? Why wouldn't they say that instead of, no, they want to destroy all work? What? You could be making more money. Taylor Swift is way more popular than 3LW. 3LW doesn't even exist anymore. You can be making money every month off of Shake It Off. And though it's not a popular hit anymore, it still is played places. It's still on the radio. People still buy it. Things like that. Like, they make money on YouTube. Why wouldn't you want that instead of destroying it? Yeah, right? She's definitely way more popular. Yeah. They want money and give it a shot. Yeah, right? They want money. So that was this complaint that they put out about the whole case. Now we'll go back to Billboard. Since we read the complaint that was filed. Now, why is this case still going on years later? Good question. In 2019, a federal appeals court, the Ninth Circuit, overturned Judge Fitzgerald's decision and revived Hall and Butler's lawsuit against Swift. The appeals court ruled that the judge had tossed the case too early and that Playas Are Gonna Play had cleared the relative low threshold for copyright protection. So in copyright protection, they have what they call a low threshold, which means like 1 to 2 words, but it has to be very original for it to even be able to get copyrighted. And it's in this whole ruling that we're going to look at. So back in Judge Fitzgerald's lower court, Swift's lawyers once again moved to end the case. They asked the judge to grant her so-called summary judgment and immediate ruling that she had not infringed any copyrights. But in December, the judge refused to do so. So Judge Fitzgerald ruled in Taylor's favor. Then Hall and Butler went to the Ninth Circuit, where that judge who has power over this lower court overturned that verdict to bring back to the lower court, where Taylor again says, all right, I think, I didn't do anything wrong. Can you throw this case out? Where the judge then refused to do so. Bye, honey. Go wash that booty. I'll talk to you later, darling. And I'll keep you updated too. I love you, darling. So this is like a little part from one of the rulings saying, even though there are some noticeable differences between the works, there are also significant similarities in word usage and sequence/structure. The judge wrote at that time. Now, the December decision set the stage for a trial. So there's going to be a trial. Yeah, Farron was able to submit her application, Rose, but guess what? YouTube already denied her. So if you go on Twitter, if you don't have Twitter, that's understandable. I can actually bring it up for us to see. I'll show you really quick. I already went after YouTube because I was a little pissed off about that. We're taking a Taylor Swift break really quick so I can show you. If it loads. I hate when Twitter does this. It does it every now and then. They don't give her a reason. That's the problem. She doesn't know why. They don't give her a reason why. And that's why I went off on YouTube. It's like, so the first time they demonetized her, it was for reuse of content, which it was her own content. How could she reuse her own content? So she made changes, whatever. She didn't really do much different. I will say that, because she just stopped using long, she did take NBC Dateline's Amber Heard freaking coverage of that interview after the trial, and she did put that on where she let it play and she gave her opinions during the commercials. That was like one time that she reused content, which she ended up not monetizing that one video because she couldn't, because then NBC would get all the money anyways. And that was the only reused content. Yeah. So right here, it says, thanks, folks, for all your help. We got Team YouTube to fix it here. Oh, this was as of 2 hours ago. Oh, here goes nothing. Oh, no. Okay. So let's see. Is this before my tweet? I just tweeted about it. I think we might be. Let's see. Because last I knew, they denied her. So this is a good thing we checked. Thanks, Rose. I'm glad we checked. Fingers crossed, they fixed something. Because that was at 5. I saw this at 6, I thought, before I went live. Channel was modified since suspension. Reuse content. Same thing. Reuse content. So that's where she was, I think, clicking. Completely understand. Streaming on YouTube for audience reach. Unfortunately, YouTube is still king when it comes to getting the exposure. Team Odyssey, because she's now on Odyssey. Cross fingers for you. Okay, so this is before she reapplied. She did reapply. I know, and then she put out a thing. Let's look at my tweet, because I retweeted hers. I know she liked it, so it'll be right here. Yeah. So we'll go right to her tweet, which I think this is the newer, because that was 2 hours ago. Huh. That's weird. Here we go. Hi, Team YouTube. Today is the day. Oh, so 5 hours ago, I can reapply for monetization. I made changes to my channel, and YouTube is still not letting me reapply. So, okay. That was 5 hours ago. 2 hours ago, she was saying, cross fingers, let's reapply. So let's hope she gets monetized. I read that backwards and I went after YouTube apparently for no reason. I was like, YouTube, what the hell? What are you doing? We need answers now. Farron has worked her ass off for you, and you will not monetize her. Give her answers to why. And she has made changes so that this can be fixed. But the biggest issue is she doesn't know exactly why you did this to her. She literally has been waiting all month for this day. And then this. You clearly don't know a real creator when you have one. She is giving the news in a way that no news channel could ever. And it is also reassuring to all of us that watch her that we are getting the correct information. YouTube does not offer support to their creators, which they don't. That's not I'm not bullshitting. And it's sad, but also pathetic, because you are one of the biggest out there. You will lose more and more because of this. Do better. Please give Farron answers and to all of us that support her and multiple other creators that you're doing this to. And then I hashtagged a bunch of shit like, look at this. YouTube doesn't support their creators. We need answers. Demonetizing creators. YouTube is playing games. So she got the remonetize. She got the reapply button now. Let's hope that they remonetize her. Hello, John Z. How are you, darling? So I'm glad that you actually made me look that, because I wouldn't have noticed the new update. So that's a good thing. So the button is there. So she pressed reapply. Now we're just waiting for their decision, which hopefully my tweet doesn't distract them, but I highly doubt that. So back to Taylor Swift. Back off our little break. Thank you, Rose. You've been editing all day, so I'm done. What have you been editing, darling? One of your road videos? All right, so I think we read, even though there are noticeable differences, yes. Okay, so the December decision set the stage for a trial, finally, in which a judge will decide whether the lyrics of Shake It Off infringed. Players are going to play, featuring following the ruling, Hall and Butler's lawyers said the songwriters were finally moving closer to justice that they richfully deserved. I like how they use the word richfully deserved. It's not going to make you rich, but that's what you want, to be rich, apparently. Off of somebody else's song that did way better than your song. That's just my opinion. So then they give you the Ninth Circuit ruling, which when you click on it, it's no longer there anymore. But thankfully, in the December ruling, they give you a lot of what the Ninth Circuit said without having to read all of the Ninth Circuit. So that's a good thing. So we will look at the first ruling in the matter, which was when the judge was like, all right, you know what? I'm going to side with Taylor. And then that's before they went to the Ninth Circuit. So this was 2018, where they said the court has read and considered the papers filed in connection with the motion and held a hearing on February 12th. And for the reasons set forth, the motion is granted, and they leave to and will leave to amend, which means that exactly what they did, they went and amended it to the Ninth Circuit. So they granted it in Taylor's favor, but if they wanted to amend, they could, which they did. So same thing as we know, song in question, Players Gonna Play and Shake It Off are both before the court. Plaintiffs had alleged with specifics which portion of Shake It Off was copied from Players Are Gonna Play. Because plaintiff alleged that the defendant copied only 2 brief phrases from the lyrics and do not allege that any musical elements like rhythm, things like that, were copied, have listened to both tracks, it does not seem that any distinctive musical elements were, the court is able to evaluate this action without the aid of an expert, which that was the big thing. The court was like, we don't need an expert. So they went back and like, yes, we need an expert. And that's what happened with the Ninth Circuit. They got an expert in. Though the expert claimed there was no musical like elements that were the same. So the alleged infringed lyrics are short phrases that lack the modicule of originality and creativity required for copyright protection. Accordingly, if there was copying, it was only of unprotected elements of Playas Gonna Play. Whether the court is extremely skeptic that plaintiffs will, in a manner of consistent with Rule 11, be able to rehabilitate their copyright infringement claim in amended complaint, which means they can amend the ruling. So then they go into the background of, so when they give a ruling, like these kind of papers, they go into everything all over again. So that way it's all there in the form. So they go into how Paul and Butler came about their song, all of that, the lyrics. Then they go into Taylor, how she came about her song, the lyrics, all of that. Then all the other defendants like Sony, all of that. But this is the most important part. So this was in the defendant's request to dismiss the case, and it showed different elements that these words were used. So the song Dreams by Fleetwood Mac, 1977, contained the lyrics, players only love you when they're playing. Okay, that's very similar to Players Are Gonna Play. Players only gonna love you when they're playing. But remember, they came up with this original phrase back then. They, Butler and Hall were the originators of Players Are Gonna Play and Haters Are Gonna Hate. Hello, John. How are you? Then they say that there was a soft rock band in the 1970s named Player. Then there was an R&B group back in the 90s called Playas. There was also a motion picture based on a novel in 1988 titled The Player. The 1991 song from Cypress Hill, which is Psycho Beta Buckle Down, included the lyrics, You're You're looking at the tribe and you're a hater. And then you have The Players Ball, which is a title of a 1993 song by Outkast. Big Mike in 1994, Playa in his title. This one's a good one. Playa Hater in the title of a 1995 song by Linz. I've never heard of them. And included their lyrics, so playa haters hate me. Why you gonna playa hate me on me? And why you playa hate? Now that is very similar to the words in The Playas Are Gonna Play. And that was before. This song came out before that. Did they get their idea from this song? I wonder. And then there was Man You Love to Hate in a 1996 song by Sir Mix-a-Lot, which included lyrics of, if you want to play a hate, players in the house, can you feel me? Got those player haters looking at me silly. Cause with these haters, you gotta keep your strap, and boys, get a job and quit hating. What an anthem. Oh, they're the one that I got 5 on it. Is it them? I know that song. I didn't know who sang that song, but I know that song. I got 5 on it too, John Z. Oh, that's awesome. Hey, thanks. That's why you're here. And then again in 1997, you got Play a Hater by Notorious B.I.G., which contained lyrics saying, Playa, turn your head around, and we have the playa, and we have the playa hater. Okay, very similar again. I mean, these were all before 3LWs. I mean, they came in a couple of years after, but it was a big thing around that era about playas and haters. And that's what they were trying to say, though, in their complaint, that there was nothing before that song talking about players and haters. And here it is. Taylor proved it. Going back from, well, the 70s, but really it was the 90s. 90s, 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 90s. It went from 90s to 92, 90, 91, 93, 94, 95, 96. Their song came out in 2001. So how are you going to say that they originated players are going to play and haters are going to hate? You have Ice-T right here. Don't hate the player. Bunch of players listening to the 7th Deadly Sins. Ice-T, baby, this goes out to all you haters out there, and don't hate the player. Then you have, by Too Short, Don't Hate the Player in 2000, which contained lyrics saying, don't hate the player. If you never was a player, I can't hate you. You never was a player, we can't hate you. And we think someone's player hating. Hate the player game. Love that game. Is that a game? I didn't know that was a game. I might have to look that up. Ooh, we might have a new game to play for game night. Hate the player. It goes very hand in hand with this case. And when did that game come out? Did that game come out in the 90s? Oh my God, that would be awesome. No, it's a new game. Okay, all right. I was going to say. But their whole thing in their complaint was that, and I can bring it up too, that they were the originators of that. And there was nobody else talking about players and haters before that point. It's like, what? They did admit that there were similar terms like player, hater, hate, but they were the original. It says right here, indeed, the combination had not been used in popular culture prior to the plaintiff's original use. I highly doubt that. I don't think they came up with that phrase, though I could be wrong. I mean, to me, if you have all of these people talking about it, it seems like it's been around for way longer than that one song. So then we go down. This is all jibber jabber about everything we've already talked about in his complaint, and pretty much the ruling. This is a ruling filing. So, as with any other artistic medium, a song or a portion of a song must be significantly original and creative to warrant a copyright protection. So it has to be significantly original and creative to be able to warrant a copyright protection. Now, it then says defendants first urge that players they're going to play and haters they're going to hate is not entitled to copyright protection because it is merely a short phrase, and short phrases are not afforded protection under the Copyright Act. Defendants are correct that short phrases are generally not accorded protection. Original phrases are not entitled to copyright protection. Phrases and expressions conveying an idea, typically expressed in a limited number of stereotype fashions, are not subject to copyright protection. That's why he ruled in Taylor's favor. Because most of the time, players they're going to hate, or players they're going to play and haters they're going to hate, I've said it so many times, usually is a short phrase, and they don't usually give copyright protection off of short phrases like that. So it says, as plaintiff pointed out, courts have recognized that they may be exemptions to the general rule that short phrases are not protected where a short phrase is significantly creative. And it goes into, okay, all these other different cases where they were granted copyright protection because of a short phrase that was very creative, which they don't actually give the phrases. They just give the cases and where you can find the cases and the dockets, all of that, for the person looking at the ruling to go back and look at if they wanted to. Plaintiffs urge their short phrase, players they're going to play and haters they're going to hate, is significantly creative to warrant protection. So the plaintiffs are urging that this phrase should warrant protection through the court, but the court disagrees. So this is why they ruled in Taylor's favor back in February 13th, 2018. And pretty much this, I highlighted this because it's funny. They go into what a player and a hater is again, and how there are different meanings, saying the term playa and hater together all revolve around the concept of a player haters. A player being one who is successful at courting women, and a player hater being one who is notably jealous of the player's success. The plaintiff explains that players are going to play use the term in the context of a third party, saying that the narrator of the song, who is neither a player nor a hater, stating that other people will do what they will, and positively affirm that they won't let that judgment of others affect them. So that is the concept of their song. which they're stating is similar to Shake It Off. Though Taylor Swift's song she will describe in her complaint is not the same, which that would, if they were the same, that would be then another reason why it would fall under the copyright, that they're similar in their concept. It's so complicated. So then it says, in the early 2000s, popular culture was adequately suffused with the concept of players, haters to render the phrase, players are gonna play or haters gonna hate, standing on their own, no more creative than runners are gonna run and drummers are gonna drum or swimmers are gonna swim. Yeah, exactly. Players are going to play just like drummers are going to drum. Exactly. It's not creative, is what they're trying to say. So it says, plaintiff, therefore, hinge their creative argument and their entire case on the notion that the combination of players they're going to play and haters are going to hate is sufficiently creative to warrant copyright protection. But they're saying right in the beginning, they had to put all that gerbage. So if you took out all of that out about the swimmers and the haters, they're saying that their concept of it was not rendered to efficient creativity to warrant a copyright protection. Because in the early 2000s, pop culture was already aware of these phrases of players and haters. Don't hate the player, hit the game. Yes, exactly. That is a phrase, and that was actually in a song, so you can't use that. They'll copyright you. They'll copyright you. I'm editing cashew nuts instead. Oh, Jesus. Right? I mean, I get it's attorneys, but they're really breaking it down. Yeah, they're really breaking down what a player and a hater is. Like the judge doesn't know. So then this is the last ruling part. It says, looking at this case from a predominantly protective short phrase perspective, the lyrics in question are not sufficiently creative to warrant protection. But they didn't like this judge's ruling, and then this is the whole short phrase protection again. They go into it all over again, what a short phrase protection is, and how they think that it wasn't popular in the 2000s, and that it should warrant it. And then in the sum of lyrics at issue, the only thing the plaintiff alleged defendants' copies was too brief, unoriginal, and uncreative to warrant protection under the Copyright Act. But then they're saying right here, if they wanted to amend this, they can, which is when they amended it, went to the Ninth Circuit, and the Ninth Circuit said, okay, judge, you need to take another look at this case. We think that you ruled in favor way too soon, and there are things that you need to take in consideration and relook at this case. That's pretty much what the Ninth Circuit said. So then this was another ruling by the Judge Fitzgerald, in 2001. Now, that was because after the Ninth Circuit looked at the case and said, you got to relook at this whole case again, Judge Fitzgerald looked at the whole case, and of course, Taylor Swift's team said, listen, we think that this is still falling under what you ruled before, and that it does not warrant copyright. Can you please deny this case or dismiss this case? Sorry. And that's when the judge said motion is denied. And they're saying that defendants have made a strong closing argument for a jury. They have not shown that there are no genuine issues of trivial fact such that the defendants are entitled to judgment as a matter of law. So because they haven't shown the evidence that they put in their closing argument, that's why he's denying their dismissal of the case. So again, it goes into the whole song thing again, where it came from, all of that. But here's a breakdown of the lyrics. Players, they're going to play. And notice how the E is gone, or N-A. And they spell playa, A-S. This is where they have players spelled out, gonna. So for me, it's like, how are they copying it? Yes, they're saying player, which is kind of like a playa. But technically, that's not taking the word for word like we saw with the Beyonce one. That was like word for word, just adding an I in there. It's like, okay, so the way you are spelling your lyrics is different than the way she's spelling her lyrics, though they are considered the same kind of thing. Yeah, right. Of course, completely different. Haters. Okay, haters is actually spelled out here. They're gonna hate. Haters gonna hate. Okay, give them that one. Then they go into the rest of the lyrics. Ballers are gonna ball. Shot callers are gonna call. Which they didn't use that. They used heartbreakers, fakers, all of that. Which they go into right here. Heartbreakers, fakers. And she's just gonna shake it off, baby. I mean, God, it like putting it out. So this is everything about the Ninth Circuit, saying that they went to the Ninth Circuit. This is what the Ninth Circuit has to say. The decision of the Ninth Circuit, which is right here, where they go into how the Ninth Circuit believes that they could possibly have a short copyright and that the judge needs to reconsider this case. And it just says that the defendants do not contest that the plaintiffs own the copyright. So they're saying, yeah, we know you own it, but Taylor didn't know that at the time. She didn't even know that there was a song, which she should have Googled it. According to Butler and Hall, she should have Googled it to see if there was a copyright. Goddamn Google. Google is like the background of all knowledge, though you can find misinformation on Google. I mean, come on now. So then this is all about the Ninth Circuit. The Ninth Circuit already acknowledged that at a minimum, plaintiff's characterization of the work at issued was a six-word phrase and a 4-part lyrical sequence was enough to sufficiently allege originality. Okay, so the Ninth Circuit believes they could have originality and could possibly get a copyright. Plaintiff's use of the above phrase, along with the 4-part sequence, would allow a rational jury to conclude that plaintiffs might have met the minimal requirements required to secure some type of protection. So right now they don't really have the protection, but they could secure it. They think they have enough. So this is where they say the same thing again, saying that they're entitled to at least some level of protection in the structure and arrangements of the phrase contained in player lyrics, even if their utilized words are in public domains. Okay. So pretty much the Ninth Circuit, it was like, yeah, Judge, you really need to look at this. So this is where we come to, this is just the minutes still, that indeed defendants, experts, so they got an expert to look at this, and he did make some really good arguments regarding why variation factors of the respective musical and literal work analyzes do objectively distinguish between players and shake. But as it may, there are some numerous factors analyzed by the defendants, some experts, that do not eliminate the possibility that there is still a genuine dispute to the potential substantial similarities between the lyrics. It's literally like a back and forth. So, but this is where they're saying, all right, so the harmony and the melody of music works or mood and pace of literal works are different, which the expert did agree. They're completely different. But that also gives a portion of, if they were the same, then that would be one more thing to, okay, this is looking like they copied you. So pretty much right here, given the obligation to view the record in the light most favorable to the plaintiff, genuine issues of trivial fact remain. So that's why they did not grant in her favor. So that was that ruling. It's like they ruled, then he amended it, then they rule again saying, well, the Ninth Circuit was right, and maybe I did make a mistake. So let's look at this. You might have a case. So you know what? We'll leave it up to the jury now. It's like, oh, Jesus. So what comes next? Currently, Taylor's lawyers are trying their best to avoid the trial. In December, that's what we just read, they asked Judge Fitzgerald to reconsider his ruling, calling the decision to let the case go to trial unprecedented and warning it could cheat the public domain. Hall and Butler's lawyers fired back in January, claiming Swift's attorneys were rehashing old arguments and simply unhappy with the prospect of trial. The whole case is rehashing old arguments. From everything that I've seen, it's literally the same thing being rehashed. And if anything, Taylor's attorneys are providing lots of information when it comes to different songs before the 2000s that had players and haters in it, that provided that there was a concept in pop culture of players and haters and what they do. It makes no sense. It's one saying, oh, they're just rehashing it, when really the entire thing has just been rehashed now for 5 years. So then it says, this week, Swift's team again asked Judge Fitzgerald to decide the case without the help of a jury, arguing that months of discovery in the case had turned up other fatal flaws in the accusations. Among other things, they said it was not clear that Taylor had never heard the song, a key requirement in any copyright lawsuit, which this is where her complaint will come in. The argument is why Taylor also filed her own sworn declaration in the case, stating clearly that the first time I ever heard the song was after the case was filed. Until learning about plaintiff's claim in 2017, I had never heard the song Players Are Gonna Play, had never heard of the song or the group 3LW, and she did not permit me to, she said her parents did not permit her to watch TRL until I was 13 years old, which would have been after the date they reached the top number 7 on TRL. Oh, look at that. If Swift's motion is denied, a trial will take place. So she put in her motion on August 8th. So that was only 2 days ago. We have not gotten a ruling yet on what the judge has decided. I've copyrighted the word love. If anyone uses that word in a song, I will sue them. I was thinking about that today. I was like, I wonder how many, like, what if I was like, get out of bed? And it was like, I copyright that. Like, if you say you get out of bed and anything, you're fucked. Movie, lyrics, you're fucked. I was thinking about that when I was reading that today. So no one can use the word love. I'm probably getting copyright claimed right now, thanks to John Z. Same goes for using the word in this chat window. Uh-oh, I'm fucked. See? You'll seek legal advice. Well, I guess you'll have to speak to my lawyer then. Oh my God. So pretty much her declaration, though, it's pretty straightforward. And this is the last, like, little paper document. So Taylor goes into that she's over the age of 18. She's won 11 Grammys. When she was born, where she lived, blah, blah, blah. While living in this area, she listened to, like, LeAnn Rimes, Faith Hill, the Dixie Chicks, Tim McGraw. But in her house, we played CDs and rarely played the radio. So she's saying, because I had the CDs of, like, LeAnn Rimes, Faith Hill, I never listened to the radio. And if they did listen to the radio, it was generally country music, which she was a country music star when she first came about. And she did not watch MTV show TRL and did not go to clubs during that time. The only concept was at that time that she had of any kind of music was country, folk rock singers like LeAnn Rimes, Billy Gilmore, Melissa Etheridge. Her parents limited her to watching TRL until she was 13 years old, which would have been after they were on the number 7 TRL day on March, that one day in March. Like, god damn. And then it said her first album was recorded in Nashville. 05, 06 was released. But here's the Shake It Off part. So Shake It Off is an up-tempo pop song that is the lead single off her 5th studio album, 1989. It was released as a single in August, blah, blah, blah. All of that good stuff. Then she talks about who she wrote it with, which was Max Martin, a bunch of the record labels, all of that. And then, but here, we began writing the song after I discussed with Max Martin and Shellback that I wanted to write a song that would help me cope with stresses in my life and would also double as a song that would make people get up and dance. With that in mind, Shellback created a drum beat, and Max Martin, Shellback and I began, get down, cat, collaborating, improvising musical lines to a drum beat. I started improvising lyrics to the music. So pretty much, though, what she wanted was a song to help her cope with the stresses in her life that could double down as a song to get people up and dance. So it had nothing to do with, being a narrator and saying, like, I'm not going to worry about the players or the haters and I'm going to live my life. No, that's not where the song came about. So right there shows, it's not the same exact thing as where their concept came from when they wrote Players Are Going to Play. Here you go. Here's more treats. Leave me alone until I'm done. Then we can play. I swear, this cat only comes around when I'm live. So, actually, she does this all day long, but she only bothers me when I'm, like, doing something important. Inspired by cowboys. You invented country music. True story. Not many people know that. Uh-oh. Did she copy any of your work in the beginning, John Z? Back then, you only listened to a few pop songs like Rihanna, Justin Timberlake, Britney Spears, and NSYNC. I knew of that song by 3LW. I did, because you know why? I did have that Now That's What I Call Music, Volume 6, which featured it, which I still have the CD. Don't make fun of me. It's in my CD book. I still have that CD. And I laughed when I saw it mentioned in this complaint. And I was like, God damn, I actually have that CD. I think that's probably where I heard the song, though I was like, Blink 182 back then. That's what I was listening to. Green Day, Blink. I did listen to the Backstreet Boys. I wasn't an NSYNC fan. I did listen to Christina, but I did know of the 3LW song because of the Now That's What I Call Music CD. And this is where she says the lyrics of Shake It Off were entirely written by me. And then she says, in writing the lyrics, I draw partly on experience in my life, in particular, unrelenting public scrutiny of my personal life, clickbait, reporting, public manipulation, and other forms of negative personal criticism, which I learned I just need to shake off and focus on my music. So right there again is the concept of the song. Now, the lyrics of Shake It Off also drew from commonly used phrases and comments heard throughout my life. Prior to writing Shake It Off, I had heard the phrase, players are gonna play and haters are gonna hate, uttered countless times to express the idea that one can or should shrug off negativity. I recall hearing phrases about players play and haters hate stated together by other children while attending school, in high school and in elementary school. These phrases were akin to other commonly used sayings like, don't hate the player, hate the game, take a chill pill, say it, don't spray it. I drew on those commonly used player and hater phrases in creating the lyrics, because the players are gonna play. You know it, girl. Oh, no problem. We're almost done anyways, because I know if Farron is going live, she should be going live any moment or started already. So, in 2003, approximately a year before I wrote the song, Shake It Off, she performed at the Billboard Music Awards wearing a bodysuit that incorporated a t-shirt with the phrase, haters gonna hate, which she purchased the t-shirt from Urban Outfitters. So if are they going to go after Urban Outfitters and say, you took a portion of a song from a saying that I made? Though it's not copyrighted, I'm going to copyright you because I created that saying. Then that would have to go after Urban Outfitters too if they're going to go after her. That's what it's like, come on now, people. Farron starts in 25 minutes. Awesome. Thank you, Miranda. You are amazing. So we'll be done before then. And then the phrase heartbreakers are going to break, and fakers are going to fake were included because they also fit the beat of the song. They loosely rhythmed with the players and hater phrases discussed above, and because they represent other forms of negativity that a person can shake off through music and dance. And this is where she claims, until learning about the plaintiff's claim in 2017, I had never heard the song Players Are Gonna Play, and never heard the song or group 3LW. None of the CDs I listened to as a child or after that were by 3LW. I had never heard the song Players Are Gonna Play on the radio or television or in film. The first time I heard it was after the claims were made. I'd never seen the music video or attended a concert. Never attended any concerts where the song was played or performed at. I do not own any 3LW albums or singles or recordings. And this is where it says, or the album, Now That's What I Call Music 6, or Now That's What I Call Music 7, which is like, wait, so that must have been 3LW was on both. But I believe it's Now That's What I Call Music 6 is when the Players Are Gonna Play song was on. I did not discuss Players Are Gonna Play or LW with anyone prior to this lawsuit. I had never subscribed to a Billboard magazine and had never read anything in the magazine until after I moved to Nashville, which was in 2005, and became immersed in the music business. She says, I do not recall ever meeting Sean Hall or Nathan Butler, and I can and do confirm that Shake It Off was composed independently of Players Gonna Play. And she signed it and dated it August 6th, baby, 2022. So this was the latest filing that she did the other day, which was put through the court on the 8th. So, back to the Billboard, our last little paragraph left, if it loads. What happens if Taylor loses? So back in December, Judge Fitzgerald and Swift and her legal team will have a strong closing argument when the case is presented to jurors. And legal expert who chatted with Billboard generally agreed that Swift is the favorite to eventually prevail in the case. But jury trials are notoriously different to predict, especially when it comes to music copyrights, a scenario that asks untrained citizens. So exactly, you're asking people that don't know anything about copyright to weigh in on a complex mix of legal concepts and subjectivity listening. Most court watchers initially expected Robin Thicke and Pharrell Williams to defeat accusations that they ripped off Blurred Lines from Marvin Gaye's Got to Give It Up, but the pair of superstars famously lost that trial in 2015. So, as they said, I agree with this. If I have jury on September 7th, I believe it is, I have to go sit for a court case. Now, though I've worked in a legal office, we did not deal with like copyright issues. We dealt more with motor vehicle accidents, things like that, personal injury. I have more knowledge with the personal injury motor vehicle accidents. But say I was to get a copyright issue that I had to sit for the jury trial. You're asking someone who has no idea about copyright, except for the little bit that I know about everything with TOS and YouTube, to decide whether they should get the copyright ruling in their favor. It's hard. You remember that situation with, yeah, see? And it's like, it's gonna go, it can go either way at this point. They're not having experts sit as the jury that knows everything about copyright to be like, well, there is this, there is that. They are going to have to prove their case, and they're not going to be able to provide all different like clips like they did in their filings, like refer to this court case, refer to that. They're going to have to give brief summaries on those court cases and in hopes that the jury rules in their favor. So if she does lose, Taylor and the other defendants would likely need to pay a sizable award of damages, as well as an ongoing royalty for the song. In the Blurred Lines case, Thicke and Pharrell and several other defendants were eventually ordered to pay just under $5 million in damage to Gaye's family, plus a 50% of royalties going forward. So it'd probably be the same with like Taylor Swift, where she'll have to pay an X amount of money, and then every time Shake It Off, is bought, that they'll have a percentage of royalties going forward. So that is the Taylor Swift case. That is where we are with it right now. And as soon as this judge decides on her complaint that Taylor just did the other day, I will definitely give a short update letting us know if the judge ruled in Taylor's favor or didn't rule in Taylor's favor, of course. And I want to show you guys the music videos, of course. So this is the part where I might have to take it out of the video. So if you're watching this on the replay crew, if you don't hear the music, it's because they claimed me and I had to mute it. So this is the 3LW song that is in question. I turned the volume down too. So let me turn it back up because I really don't care if they claim me at this point because I'll just remove it. We want it up, volume up. Here we go. Why is it so fucked up? That might refresh some of your memories with the song. If you didn't know the song, now you might know the song. And of course, the beautiful Taylor Swift. Let me turn up her volume so we don't have to worry about that. Just same words. Yeah, it's really just the same words. It is very hard to try and claim a phrase as yours unless it's like, you know, I don't know. Now you're going to make me think of a phrase on my own that I got to make up. Elephants step on peanuts and crack them. I don't know. I don't know. Like, it would have to be original and very unique to be able to get a copyright short claim on something like a phrase. And that's Taylor Swift's beautiful song, which I did find some awesome GIFs too while looking for this beautiful stuff. And the GIFs are pretty funny. I will have to say, I do have some good GIFs of Taylor Swift, which here's a good one. Her just shaking it. Her dancing. Her shaking it off. I mean, Taylor is well liked. So I would think as a jury, it's like the Depp versus Heard. Like, who are they going to side with Taylor because people know who Taylor are? They'll probably find jury that are more older people that might not know Taylor. So that way there isn't a favor in hers or like a bias to favor for Taylor. That's what they did with the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp trial. They found jury members that was not aware of who Johnny Depp was or weren't aware of who Amber Heard was, or they knew very little about the actor, actress, and all of that. So it'll probably be very similar with this. And then here's a couple of the 3LW GIFs that I found, which you will know one of the members from 3LW, which is Adriana. Adriana dated Rob Kardashian. She was and is Rob Kardashian's ex. She is now a TV personality. She does podcasts. She does TV shows. I want to say, I know she's on a popular show right now, and I can't think of the show, but she is very well known. And I'll throw up her photo for you guys to see. She's like the only really popular person from 3LW that still does anything. The rest were just musical. Yes, you spelled the last name perfect. Yep. She's on The Real. That's what I wanted to say, either The Real or like the Real Talk. I couldn't remember what it was called. Thank you. You are right. Yes, she's on The Real. She has a life outside of the music business, where the other two just, after their group kind of fell apart, they went their separate ways, and they have not been back. I mean, she still talks to Kelly, but Nature does not really talk to any of the members still, which Nature is the one in the middle here. Kelly's the one to the left, and of course, Adrian. So They have nothing to do with this, though. It's the songwriters, so they can't even have any say in this case. They don't get any money. It's not them, though it is them that the song was written for. They have no say in this matter. Oh, that's why I had an idea when you were talking about it. I mean, I loved her. I think that her and Rob Kardashian, if she stayed with Rob would be in a better shape and form in his life now. And I think when they broke up, that's kind of what put him in a little spiral of, I don't want to say depression because I don't know if he has it, but put him in that depressive state where he gained weight and he didn't want to leave the house or film on the show. Because when she was around, he was filming. And then when China came into his life, that's when she kind of convinced him to kind of have a show. And, you know, though he didn't want to, he did it for her. And then look how that relationship turned out. Not too well. No, it's not Kelly Rowland. It is, hold on, I have it written down, her last name, because I knew I'd forget. Oops, no, that's not the article. I'm working on another piece for tonight, so there will be another video out after. It is Kelly Williams and Nature Nonnington is the other girl from 3LW. So, Kelly Rowland was part of Destiny's Child. She was that Destiny's Child. When did Destiny's Child come out? That was a girl group. That was the 2000s. So they were saying 3LW was like one of the top girl groups of their time. I want to say Destiny's Child was way bigger than 3LW in my opinion. And that was around the 2000s. Yeah. Yeah, they were 2000s, 90s. So that is everything, though, with the Taylor Swift lawsuit. Everything we need to know, all the facts, all the complaints, all the rulings, and where we are headed with this. So, if the judge rules in Taylor's favor, I will make a little short or a little video letting everybody know what the judge decided. I'll make it regardless, so that way we know what the judge decided. But if this is to go to trial, I will be keeping my eyes and ears out for this trial, and I will definitely let us all know where this trial ends up in the long run. Oh, it's okay. I thought it was Kelly Rowland too when I first saw her name was Kelly, and then I was like, no, okay. I did the same thing. Don't worry. I am so glad she is where she is. She has a husband, yes. And I do know that she is struggling to get pregnant, which I send her all the wishes and prayers in the world. Hopefully that will happen because I do know how that feels, though we have not tried yet. It will be eventually to that point that I will be in that predicament as well. So I wish her all the best, and I'm glad that she doesn't really have anything to do with this case because I feel like she wouldn't care anyways. She would see it as like what we see it. It's kind of a phrase. Like, I'm pretty sure she didn't go to like Sean and Nathan and be like, oh my God, did you see that Taylor Swift copied our song? Like, she wasn't the one who did that. They are looking, I don't think for like a payday, but they want to feel like we are the ones that created that phrase. We are the people that came up with players are going to play. So that way they can get a copyright for that phrase by this case, also get royalties from Taylor, but also that copyright. So that way, like, for instance, Hippie Runner, who is in my description, they're an amazing clothing company. They also have things like tumblers, mugs, sweatshirts, hoodies, tank tops, but they have great sayings, and they have sayings like players are going to play, or don't be a twat waffle, which is the mug that I have, or if you're what faker, oh my God, my liar shirt that I wore on camera the other day, you're a lying liar that likes to lie about lying. Like, they have awesome sayings like that. And I do know they have sayings with players and haters in their merch. And if that is to be that this case happens, they might have to change that merch that might have it, especially if it's players are going to play and haters are going to hate on that. So I think that's more what this is that they kind of want that little bit maybe of money, but they really want that recognition of we came up with that saying and have it copyrighted so that way nobody else can say it. Yeah. I'm also at that age. I'm 35. Hopefully, girl, you're still young enough. But yeah, I think too with both of our issues, I think that'll be a big factor. Though my epileptic doctor said like it shouldn't be an issue, and there's plenty of women that have epilepsy that have not had an issue, I still feel like I'm going to be that person. Like, so fingers crossed though for Adriana that she gets pregnant and she enjoys her happy marriage with her husband. I hope that Taylor can win this case so that way there is no copyright of players are going to play and haters are going to hate, because I do like that saying, though I don't use it anymore. That was a 2000s thing when it was around. Speaking of Jay-Z, hey Jay-Z. We're talking about music. Where have you been all this time, Jay-Z? Jay-Z, did you have a song about players and haters? I believe you did. Mike Malloy for president. Yeah. No, that's fine. Well, Jay-Z's wife, Beyonce, did get... So I want to look up that case. I'm going to look up that case because in the complaint, they talked about Beyonce being like in a lawsuit over the copyrighted words, but they didn't say what the outcome was to that lawsuit. And I do want to check that out, though. That lawsuit has been done and had. I want to know what happened to that lawsuit and if they favored with Beyonce or if they favored with Soulja Boy. I mean, because if they didn't side with Soulja Boy, it's like you're putting in a case that they didn't side with the person who the lyrics were original. So that's the other Jay-Z. Oh, I know. I'm fooling with you. Jay-Z. But thank you so much for being here. And Farron is about to go live, so I am getting out of here. I will update you all on, of course, the Taylor Swift case. And anything that I hear, I'll put in a little video. Maybe I'll make a short. Maybe I'll make a little bit longer video for you guys. But I will keep us all updated. And like I said, let's hope for the best and that we can keep using that phrase. Players are going to hate. I said it backwards again. Players are going to play and haters are going to hate. So that way we can all use that phrase. If we wanted to say the phrase and write it down and plaster it everywhere, and other people can make songs with it if they wanted to make songs with it. Though that was like a 1990s thing, they could if they wanted to. And that, Nathan and Sean will just live their life making other music. So head over to Farron Balance's channel. Let her know it's a Sunshinery raid when she starts. And I will be there because I'm a mod over there. So I will be cheering us all on in the chat. But let her know it's a Sunshinery raid and that we love her. And let's hope that she does get her monetization applied for. So I love you all, and I will see you here Friday night for game night. We are back on. I know I didn't do it this Friday. That was because Pope was on vacation. And I will see you Friday for game night, and I will be making another video for you guys, and should be up tonight, if not tomorrow, about Travis Barker's 16-year-old daughter and how she got banned in the UK for an ad from Pretty Little Things that she's in because it was portraying a teen in a sexual way. So we are going to talk about that. So look out for that video. And I will see you all at Farron Balance's channel. And Jay-Z, you rule. And I love you all. See you guys here for game night Friday night, where we are going to have so much fun. And if you miss it, you're missing some fun. That's what I'm saying. We have a lot of fun. Bye, everyone.